Hello everyone, welcome to this new video. So in this today's video, we shall discuss about the problem which is related to the concepts of solution of triangles. So this is again a combination type problem, and both of the questions are related to the solutions of triangle concept. One is directly linked to the solutions of triangle, and the other one is like we need to solve the equation to come to the conclusion what type of triangle it is actually. So we can actually see the question here that in a triangle ABC, the internal angular bisectors meets the sides AB, BC, CA at KLM respectively. So this is a triangle ABC and the internal angular bisectors meet at KLM. Fine. If the area of the triangle KLM, so the A triangle is being formed from this point, and the area of this is represented as J times area of triangle ABC divided by A plus B into B plus C into C plus A, where ABC are the side lengths of the triangle ABC. Then the equation 2 into QR par J plus RP par J plus PQ par J is equal to Q par J into R plus R par J into P plus P par J into Q plus 3PQR represents which type of triangle, where PQR are the sides of the triangle PQR. Fine. So this is another triangle PQR. It has no relation with this. The only thing is you need to find the value of J from here so that you can solve this equation and find the value, or like you can finally come to the conclusion what type of triangle it is, like the PQR, triangle PQR, whether it is equilateral or scalene or isosceles, or maybe a triangle may not be even formed. Like, but it cannot be the case because it has been clearly given that PQR are the sides of a triangle PQR. Maybe it's an imaginary triangle if a triangle could not be formed, but it's not possible. Fine. So let us first focus on the derivation of the value of J. Fine. So this is a triangle ABC, and internal angular bisectors meet at the incenter, and so we have represented it as I. This is the I and KLM. So now let us assume that the inscribed circle touches the BC side BC at D. Fine. So let us assume an in circle. Fine. The circle being inscribed inside the triangle ABC, and which meets this BC at D. And as I is the incenter, the radius, okay, the ID shall be perpendicular to the BC. Fine. ID will be perpendicular to the BC. These are all the basic concepts of incircle and all the stuff. And if we assume IL to be X, fine, you can just have the zoom version of this triangle. So this triangle IBL, fine. So this is this triangle IBL, fine. So this is the triangle that we are focusing here. So IBL, and we have assumed that D is the point where the incircle touches the side BC, and so ID would be R and it will be perpendicular. Fine. And now this angle will be equal to B by 2, isn't it? Because this is B by 2. Fine. This is B by 2, and that's the reason it is B by 2. And this is R, and this we have assumed to be X, and DIL is assumed to be theta. Now let us first find the BIL. That's the total angle BIL. So what it is equal to? So this angle is actually equal to this angle plus this angle, isn't it? Because these are the sum of interior opposite angles. Like this is an exterior angle to this triangle AIB. So that is the reason this angle will be equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles of the triangle ABI. Fine. And so that is the reason this is B by 2 plus A by 2. Now let us find this value DIL. The angle DIL is actually equal to the total angle BIL minus BID. And what is BID? Now we can see in this triangle again, what is BID? BID is, this is B by 2, this is 90, and so BID would be 9, yeah. So BID would be 180 minus of 90 plus B by 2. Fine. So that is a sign. So that has been substituted here. So finally we have got the value of DIL, that is theta. So we can just assume it to be theta. So theta is equal to B plus A by 2 minus 90. Now let us focus upon the triangle DIL. Fine. What is the value of cos theta? Cos theta is equal to R by X. Fine. And X is equal to, from here we can actually say that X is equal to R by cos theta. And the theta value we have just derived, that is B plus A by 2 minus 90. So we have substituted that, and that will be R by sine of A by 2 plus B. And we know that this is actually equal to See, from here, this is the direct formula that we have in solutions of triangles. That is, a of sine a by 2 plus b is actually equal to b plus c into sine a by 2. So substituting that, because we have only sine of a by 2 plus b, we shall send this a to the right hand side. So this becomes b plus c by a into sine a by 2. And a goes to the numerator. So that becomes ar divided by b plus c of sine a by 2. So similar, now we have actually got the value of x. Fine. Actually, we have got the value of x. So similarly, y can even be derived. Okay, we just need to replace a by something, b by something, c by something, and the angle here by something. So how can we do it directly? So here we can see the x is having the opposite side as a. Fine. Similarly, y has the opposite side as b, and z as the opposite side as c. So instead of to find the value of y, you can just substitute a by b, and the other two, that is b, c, will be replaced by c and a, and the angle is a here, and the side length is small a. So in the similar way, here side length is small b, the angle would be capital B. Similarly, z is equal to small c, and here you can replace that by capital C. So this is how the generalization works. Fine. You can actually use the things that are there from the very first derivation, and you can just replace them to find the other values x, y, z. So you can even prove them, you can even verify them by doing the same approach, and you will get the same values. Now take the triangle LIM. Fine. So we are actually let me erase this stuff so that it will be easy for us to yeah. So fine. So we are actually bothered about the triangle, area of the triangle KLM, isn't it? So let us first divide it into three parts: LIM, MIK, and LIK. Fine. So if we get the generalized area for this LIM, we can actually get the generalized area for KIM as well as KIL. So I mean generalized area in the sense it's the exact area. Fine. So we are just looking out for the generalization way, so that we can replace them just now as we did for the side lengths XYZ. So in the same way we can actually do that for the areas, and we can just add those three to get the final area, that is the total area of KLM. So we shall look at the triangle LIM. Fine. So if we look at the triangle LIM, that is half into Li into Im into sine of included angle, that is LIM. So what is Li? X. You can just verify it from there, and Im is y, and sine of LIM is equal to LIC plus MIC. So you can just check here, LIM is equal to this angle plus this angle. Fine. And these are the sides x and y, and the included angle is LIM, and that is LIC plus MIC. And that is actually equal to LIC is equal to a by 2 plus c by 2, and MIC is equal to b by 2 plus c by 2. Same thing, the sum of interior opposite angles. So let me erase this part also so that it will be clear for us. Yeah. So LIC, this one is actually equal to the sum of the interior angles a by 2 and c by 2, and this part is equal to from here we can actually see that is b by 2 and c by 2. Fine. You just need to observe it carefully so that we can come to a conclusion. Fine. We somehow need to relate angle A, angle B, angle C. That is the reason we are doing all these things. So we need to relate those stuff so that we can actually find the terms like the total the final area in terms of triangle ABC itself. So this is b by 2 and c by 2, this is a by 2 and c by 2. So just substituting that sum, we get this to be a by 2 plus b by 2 plus c by 2, and we are left with another term extra c by 2. So that is what we have written here. And x value we have derived, so we have substituted that. Y value we have derived, we have substituted that. So this is y value, and this and the we can find the x value. So finally we have got this. So a plus b plus c, that is 180. So 180 divided by 2, that is 90, and sine of 90 plus c by 2, that is cos c by 2. So a, b, r into r square divided by 2 into b plus c into c plus a into sine a by 2 into sine b by 2. Fine. This is what we have got. Now here the generalization works again. So for triangle LIM, we have AB into r square into cos c by 2. And for triangle KM, how will the generalization work now? For the LIM, we can see LIM as c into it. Fine. This trapezoid, I mean like it can be a trapezium, 1 2 3 4. Fine. Like this, one of this angle is this one, right? This angle C. So the angle of this to To be honest, it is not, it cannot be a trapezium. Maybe it can just be some quadrilateral, fine. So this it has angle C, right? So this you can just substitute here. So we have seen here that is triangle LIM has C in the angle of in the cos. So in the similar way for the triangle KIM, so KIM has angle A in it. So we can just substitute A in the like replace A by C. So that is the reason we have did it here. So that is BC R square, like we have did A here. So the other two sides, that is B and C. This is like generalization. We are just talking about generalization and replacing the term, so that we actually save lot of time and lot of solving procedure and finally come to this like the required answer. And this is 2 of B plus C into C plus A. So this is C plus A into A plus B, and the other two angles, we have A in the numerator, so the other two angles will be B and C. So sin B by 2 into sin C by 2. Similarly, area of triangle KIL, so the third part of like the KLM, so that is CAR square cos B by 2 divided by 2 of A plus B into B plus C into sin C by 2 into sin A by 2. Now area of triangle KLM is basically, you need to add all these three areas, and when you solve them, actually we will actually end up into this like this equation, that is ABC R square divided by 2 of A plus B into B plus C into C plus A into R by 4R into 1 by 2 of A plus B by C sin C plus B by C by A sin A plus E plus A by B sin C sin B. You can use you can just simplify them, you can just substitute and take the LCM, and finally you will be ending up this. I have not used any other external formula. I just took the LCM and then solved it. And now let us substitute R is equal to 4R sin A by 2 sin B by 2 sin C by 2. Fine, we shall actually use this. So when we do that, this 4R and this 4R gets cancelled, like just substitute this here. So 4R and 4R gets cancelled, and we are left with sin A by 2 and sin B by 2 and sin C by 2. I guess we have this into like, yeah, fine. So the thing is, after the substitution of this, like I have used this, fine, I have used this total formula after taking the LCM, and finally got this expression. Fine, finally got this expression. So this expression has been derived after the usage of this formula. Sorry for the error, and because of the time constant and all those things, I'm not able to put all the form like all the simplification process in one video, because it takes a lot of time, and it may even leads to some errors. Fine, so the simplification errors and all the stuff, so I don't want to do that. So that is the reason. And now this, we know this formulas, right? A is equal to 2R sin A, B is equal to 2R sin B, and C is equal to 2R sin C. So we can actually replace that. So sin C can be replaced by C by 2R. So C and C gets cancelled, and we are left with 2R in the denominator. Similarly, 2R in the denominator, 2R in the denominator. We can just use this formula, substitute them. And now this is actually A plus B, you can take the sum of them, and here we have the R in the denominator and this R. So this R and this R gets cancelled, and we are left with A plus B plus C twice. So 2 and 2 also gets cancelled. So finally we are left with A plus B plus C, and A plus B plus C is equal to 2s. So I've substituted that now. And also we know R is equal to delta by S. So there are a lot of formulas that have been used. All this linked to the solutions of triangles. Fine, all these have been derived from solutions of triangles. So that's the reason this is a direct question from the solutions of triangle concept. So this can be written as R is equal to delta by S. So this R has been replaced by delta by S, and so that S and S here gets cancelled, and we are left with 2ABC divided by A plus B into B plus C into C plus A into the area of the triangle. So delta is the area of the triangle. So when we compare, so this is the value of J, right? So this is the value of J. So J is equal to 2. So that's it. And now we can just substitute the J value in the equation given. So that is 2 of QR square plus RP square plus PQ square is equal to Q square R plus R square P plus P square Q plus 3PQR. So finally we'll be getting this equation, right, after multiplication of 2 and bringing this term, all the terms to the left hand side. Now let us multiply by 2. Fine. Now let us multiply by 2. We get 4QR square plus 4RP square plus 4PQ square minus 2Q square R minus 2R square P minus 2P square Q minus 6PQ R is equal to 0. Now the thing is, we have we actually need to make sure we simplify in such a way that we can come to a conclusion, right? Either it is an equilateral or an isosceles triangle or a scalene triangle. So how can we come to that conclusion? We actually need to make sure like we get the terms which involve P, Q and R. Fine. We need to get a closure terms. Fine. We need to get closure terms. So for that reason, we actually need to see either we are forming some perfect square terms or something like that, so that we can actually come to a direct conclusion. Fine. So this is how it works. So here we have taken pq square plus pr square and minus 2pqr as one inside one bracket. The reason being, if you take the p common, we get this to be p of q square plus r square minus 2qr. And what is this actually? P of q minus r whole square. So this is how we need to think. This is how we need to actually work upon, so that we can get some perfect square terms. Similarly, qr square, if we take q common, we get this to be r square plus p square minus 2pr. And what is this actually? Q of r minus p whole square. And similarly here, we get that to be r of p minus q whole square. I guess I'm not wrong. Fine. So r of p minus q whole square, and the remaining terms are this. So that is 3pq square minus 3pr square plus 3qr square minus 3qp square plus 3rp square minus 3rq square is equal to 0. So the same equation I've written. I've just make sure like I've simplified the terms into the perfect squares. So now let us add p cube plus q cube plus r cube minus p cube minus q cube minus r cube to the LHS of the equation. This all simplifies to 0, so doesn't affect. So why am I adding it? Why am I adding it? Just because we need to actually see that we have qr square term. Fine, we have qr square term, and we also have 2q square r term. Where is that? Yeah, qr square here and 2q square r. Fine. So qr square we have, q square r we have. Again, to make sure we find such an equation, q minus r whole square, it's good if we have the term q cube. So if we have q cube, so this is what it happens. So q cube plus qr square minus 2q square r leads to q of q minus r whole square. Fine, q of q minus r whole square. So this is the importance of the term q cube. So just because we have added q cube, we even need to subtract q cube. So similarly with the p cube case and similarly with the r cube case. So q cube plus qr square minus 2q square r leads to q of q minus r whole square, and minus rq square plus 2qr square leads to minus r of q minus r whole square. So these are all the terms that we need to actually notice. Fine, we need to notice these terms, then only we can actually apply this logic. Now it's too tough to actually guess that we need to add this p cube plus q cube plus r cube minus p cube minus q cube minus r cube. Fine, just because we have the terms q minus r whole square, r minus p whole square, p minus q whole square, we will need to make sure we bring other terms also into the same fashion, and that is the reason we have added this whole 0. This is a 0, right? This simplifies to 0. So that's the reason we have added. So similarly, you can just check it. We have r into r minus p whole square minus p into r minus p whole square, p into p minus q whole square minus q into p minus q whole square. So you can just take the common things, like q minus r whole square is common in this whole stuff, this one and this one. So that leads to p plus q minus r. Similarly, r minus p whole square, if you take common, we have q, r and minus p. So q plus r minus p, and this is p minus q whole square into r plus p minus q. And now, so this is what the equation we have got. This is positive or 0 if p q is equal to r. This is also positive or 0 if r is equal to p. This is also positive or 0 if p is equal to q. 0 if p is equal to q. I'm just telling the conditions for 0. Fine. And what about the other terms? P plus q minus r, q plus r minus p, r plus p minus q. In any triangle, the sum of the lengths of any two sides will be greater than the lengths of the third side. So p plus q will be greater than r. Fine. R plus p will be greater than q, and p plus r will be greater than p plus r is done, right? So r plus q will be greater than p. So bringing these terms to the left hand side, we get p plus q minus r is greater than 0, r plus p minus q is greater than 0, and q plus r minus p greater than 0. So if that is the case, this is also positive. This is not 0. This cannot be 0. Okay. So this is also positive and this is also positive. Fine. So positive, 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 and also non-negative quantities p minus q whole square, r minus p whole square, and q minus r whole square. And this sum is actually being to 0. Fine. And the only case it will be possible is, that means this square term should be 0. That is q minus r whole square should be 0, r minus p whole square should be 0, and p minus q whole square is equal to 0. So that means q is equal to r is equal to p, and p is equal to q. So that is it's an equilateral triangle. So triangle PQR is an equilateral triangle. I hope you guys enjoyed this. So this is actually a very lengthy problem, to be honest. People who don't want to know the value of the proof, actually this is a proof, right? Like the a triangle formed by the internal angular bisectors intersection points with the sides, the area of that is this. Fine. 2, so j is equal to 2, so 2 times area of triangle ABC divided by a plus b into b plus c into c plus a. So if we know the area of the triangle, or to be honest, if we know the side lengths, we can find the area of the triangle ABC and then just multiply it by 2 and divide by the product of the sum of any two side lengths. So we get the value of the area of the triangle formed by the intersection points with the sides, intersection points of the internal angular bisectors with the sides. So that this is it, and this is actually an external question. So this actually like tests our thinking ability and the logical ability of identifying the terms and making sure we solve it in such a fashion so that we get the required type of answer, because here we are required to type the type find the type of triangle, whether it's an equilateral, scalene, or isosceles. So we need to make sure we get some terms like perfect squares or something like that, so that we can come to the direct conclusion very easily. So this is how it works. So this is all for today. So this is a very good combination type questions of solutions of triangles. So both the questions are being related to the solution of triangles. And so sorry for the errors in between. I'll make sure like I reduce those errors in the upcoming videos, and mostly the upcoming videos will be of this type itself. So I'll not be writing in anything in the video. I mean, I'll not be writing the steps and the solution. It's better we actually go through a PDF in this fashion, so that it becomes easy for us to understand and also make sure it is error free. So this is all for today. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.